In the West End of Derby, there lives a working man. Said I can't fly, but my pigeons can. And when I set them free, it's just like part of me gets lifted up on shining wing. Charlie Hudson's pigeon loft was down the yard of a rented house in Brook Street where times were hard. But Charlie had a dream, and in 1913 Charlie bred a pigeon and made his dreams come true. There was going to be a champions race from Italy. We got out the maps, all that land and sea. Charlie, you'll lose that bird. But Charlie never heard. He put it in a basket and sent it off to Rome. On the day of the big race, the storms blew in. 1,000 birds were swept away and never seen again. Charlie, we told you so. Surely by now you know. When you're living in the West End, there ain't many dreams come true. Yeah, I know, but you have to try. A man could crawl around or he can learn how to fly. And when you live round here, the ground seems awful near. Sometimes I need a lift from victory. So it's off with my mates for a pint or two. Suddenly a flash up in the blue. Charlie, it's the King of Rome, come back to his West End home. Come outside quick, he's perched upon your roof. Come on down, your majesty. I knew that you would come back to me. Come on down, my lovely one. You made my dreams come true. In the West End of Derby, there lived a working man. Said I can't fly, but my pigeons can. And when I set them free, it's just like part of me gets lifted up on shining wings. Sometimes instead of Arthur Lee, I'd much prefer some Arthur Lowe. And with you by my side, I'd aspire to ascend such heights where we'd find tears and laughter cease to matter, and we'd be pleasantly surprised by our annual water bill. I'm an early till late indispensable mate of the bloke who does the PA. I can lend or offend, I can mend and befriend as a help to set up the PA, as a help to set up the onto one of their hoardings. It was for Monsters of Rock, and I'd sprayed in church olive wet. They were sealing my fate when I said, but I'm a mate of the bloke who does the PA. And the magistrate was a mate of the bloke who sets up the PA. Of the bloke who sets up the PA, thrown out of court. I'm a mate of the bloke, 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 I'm a mate of the bloke. I'm lost without an inside pocket, I'm lost without an inside pocket, I can find my way home from Sierra Leone, but I'm lost without an inside pocket. I'm lost without an inside pocket. But I'm lost without an inside pocket. I'm throwing rice at the girl that I love after she just said I do. I'm throwing rice with a smile on my lips, but my heart is broken in two. She was my gal and he was my pal, but she loved him better somehow. I stepped aside after I kissed the bride, and I'm throwing rice at her now. They've got the whole world in their house, they've got the whole wide world in their house, they've got the whole world in their house to see the new conservatory. They didn't choose their cat, the cat chose them, they didn't choose their cat. The cat chose them, they didn't choose their cat. The cat chose them, and what do you know, it's got its own website. They made some real good friends on Henman Hill, they made some real good friends on Henman Hill, they made some good friends on Henman Hill, and now they all meet up for boxercise. They buy soup in cartons, not in tins, they buy soup in cartons, not in tins, they buy soup in cartons, not in tins, and keep a torch in the back of their car. They go to one-day cricket in fancy dress. They go to one-day cricket in fancy dress. They go to one-day cricket in fancy dress and choose the pub that's got the ball pond for the kids. They treat the Mercury music prize with awe. They treat the Mercury music prize with awe. They treat the Mercury music prize with awe. Obviously that's just jealousy on my part. They seem to think it's a really good idea. They seem to think it's a really good idea. They seem to think it's a really good idea to hire a stretch limousine. He gets over emotional when he's drunk. He gets all too emotional when he's drunk. He gets over emotional when he's drunk and says, I tell you what, mate, that baby changed my life. If I'd have known they were coming, I'd have slashed me wrists.
Really nice to see you all again, guys. It must be just over a year since we last got together in a studio in Manchester. Today we're up in Liverpool, because I know you don't travel well. And, Nigel, go on, you were going to say something.
We have many different ailments.
You know the studio is owned by Phil Collins?
I didn't know that, no. I'll be off then.
I only found out minutes before we started this broadcast. Anyway, very nice to see you. Have you been busy?
Musically, as busy as we ever are. We've got stuff coming out. We've got quite a bit of new stuff, probably be an album out early next year, stuff like that. Personally busy. I've been visiting the mountains and stuff like that.
Oh, whereabouts?
Mainly Snowdonia, Glyddervach, all those sort of places.
References in your lyrics, and occasionally when I open the Radio Times, or I look at the cover of the Radio Times, I think, who are these people? But particularly references in your lyrics are very often my only point of contact with popular culture. And there was one in there. Who is Amanda Burton?
She's the omnipotent actress who, as you say, you've probably seen many times on the cover of the Radio Times. I don't want to go into her CV here, but you'd know it if you've seen her. Let's say that.
Right.
You'd definitely know it if you saw her face.
Right. Is she as omnipresent as Alan Titchmarsh?
Possibly not, because he is on the cover this week, isn't he? And
he's on the cover every week.
Well, yeah. It's 30 must-see places in the British Isles, it is, isn't it, this week?
Is that what he's doing?
Yeah. And not one of them's in Snowdonia. How can he not say that the top of Glyddervach, the summit, it cannot be in that top 30?
Well, the thing I saw, the trailer I saw, I thought he was doing something about the geology of the British Isles.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's a separate thing, because I saw that. He's got an ill-fitting Carrymore on, I think.
Right.
It doesn't seem to fit him that well, I noticed.
I thought he was a gardening bloke.
Well, it's probably just a ruse to get his foot in the door.
Have you ever noticed that there's never anybody from the medium of radio on the cover of the Radio Times?
It's true, actually, isn't it? Yeah.
You did actually sneak down to London last year, late last year or early this year, didn't you?
It was last year, yeah.
We played one gig.
Yeah, we did the night before. We stayed in at one of those travel lodges and did it quite comfortably. And there was a bit of a side issue to it, that Neil wanted to visit the Imperial War Museum, so it was
right.
two birds and all that,
Did it go well?
Yeah, it was really enjoyable. Yeah.
Was it packed?
I don't know, really. It's difficult to tell because you can't see with all the lights. In fact, if you could, I'd probably panic and run away.
Right.
But it seemed to go, I enjoyed it,
See, many of us do wish you'd get out more, Nigel.
Yeah, well, I do get out, but obviously it means a gig and stuff like that, yeah.
Well, thanks for doing this for us anyway, and it's been an excuse to come up to Liverpool.
Yeah,
so new record in March, you reckon?
Well, sometime around spring, I should imagine, yeah.
And a lot of these songs we've heard this evening will be on.
Yeah, I suppose so, yeah. Yeah, versions of and stuff like that,
Nigel Blackwell, Ken Hancock, Neil Crossley, Carl Henry, thank you all very much indeed. And
thanks, Andy.
Look forward to the new LP in the new year, and we'll see you again perhaps next autumn for another session.